My name is Carolyn Bolton, and my business is for Wellness Naturally. I'm a holistic health practitioner, master herbalist, and nutritionalist. I do an assessment tool for your health. It's called iology, which is a umbrella term for the science and art of iridology and sclerology. So I can see potential and developing health circumstances in your eyes, and therefore be able to create natural health protocols with nutrition and herbs to help with your innate healing ability.
So, Carolyn, we met through actually through another local Oceanside business. We were on a food tour together, and yeah, and then you contacted us to do a video for you, and at that time we also you did a scan of my eyes. So I was actually one of your clients as well, and I can attest to the changes that I made in my health based on your services. You were able to identify some indicators in my eyes that allowed me to make dietary changes and lifestyle changes, and I can say it has been night and day for me.
Wow, wonderful.
Yeah. I want to challenge you to describe your business in 5 words or less.
Okay. All right. So if I do 5 words or less, I would say that I guide people to improved health and help them stay healthy.
Ooh. So you guide them to improved health to stay healthy. Ooh, I like that.
Stay healthy, yes.
Good job. You didn't
get well and stay well.
I love it. So briefly tell me some of the benefits that your services, in a layman's language, for some of us that don't know what sclerology is, some basics of how it can help someone. Maybe pick one indicator that you could see in someone's eyes and advise them.
Okay. So we can see an environment in the eyes that would support the disease process. We see physiological imbalances, whether that be with the thyroid, liver, we can see heart disease, we can see the development of neoplasm activities, and be able to see the underlying cause of a health issue, be able to address that in a manner that is going to heal rather than mask the symptoms that a person's feeling. It gathers vital information that we can see as a health practitioner to help guide our patients and clients to better health and healing.
So one thing I did want to say, which was pretty phenomenal for me, is when you did the scan of my eyes and then we went over it, without me telling you a lot of what my background was, you were able to see indicators within my eyes based on I had a blood disorder, I had an injury to, I think, my shoulder, and you were able to see those things and ask me without me telling you. That kind of blew me away because, we spend so much on our health and, especially when it comes to holistic, a lot of people are a little leery of it, But for me, that was like, as soon as you did that, I was all ears. I was blown away. And based on your info, my life is a lot better. I was able to go plant-based, which isn't for everybody, but it was for me. And based on just supplements that I incorporated into my life, it's just made my quality of life a lot better. So I wanted to throw that out there. Yeah, it's wonderful.
We can age gracefully. We don't have to feel old.
Yes.
And that's what's so nice about the assessment tool of the iology sciences, is being able to see the underlying cause and imbalances and being able to address those so that you can really heal the body and improve your health just by making small adjustments to lifestyle and diet, and maybe bringing in some superfoods or some herbs to help with that process. But that's the thing, anything of significance that is happening in the body is reflected in the eyes. And that's why we can see that. And we can see the cause and the effect. So that if there's congestion in the colon, we can see if it's stressing out the spleen, or if the thyroid's not operating at its optimum level, sometimes there's a pituitary involvement. We can see that direct communication between the pituitary and the thyroid area and see that you have to address both so that you get a higher therapeutic result.
So the process, and it's great that I've went through the process with you, pretty non-invasive. I don't know, I'm sure people are probably wondering like, okay, how do you actually do this? And it was pretty simple. It's almost literally taking pictures of the eye. So if you want to explain that process
Right.
somewhat to everybody.
Absolutely. So what I do, and you can see behind me, there's a camera which has a gaze guide. So you actually will place your chin on a nice little holder, and as I take pictures with a micro lens, I have you look in a certain direction while you're holding your eye open so that I can see the veins, the configurations, diameters, coloring gels of the eyes. Then I blow that up. We look at it at a screen. Sometimes I do a solarization, or I take a transparent anatomy overlay and put that over the eye so that the client can see exactly what's represented in the whites of the eyes. And then we do a reading, and then I give my initial recommendations based on your full health inventory and the pictures that I've taken of your eyes. What's really exciting is that I can see healing in the eyes. So once you get on a healing protocol, say for example, if your liver's been stressed and there's a little bit of a yellow hue indicating some jaundice, I'll put you on a liver cleanse, and I've seen this with numerous clients that within 6 weeks, their eyes are bright and white. And instead of a dull or a yellow hue to them, and you can see that there's an improved liver function.
And I think that's key because a lot of us either have seen it in ourselves or we know someone where we've seen those changes in the eyes. So I know when I was there, you had that chart of the eye. Do you have that handy? Just so that people can get an idea?
Yeah, I think what you're referring to is this one. This is one.
Yes. I think that's key because we always don't, the eye when you first told me what you did, I tried in my mind relate to what you were talking about, how we could see the different organs. But once you showed me the chart, that immediately I had like a better understanding, and it made the process a lot more enlightening for me too. So.
Oh, great. Well, and the modality itself, as far as a health assessment, is wonderful because it does give you that visual indication of problems where there's issue. Where when you can see that, that's a huge motivation. You can talk about cardiovascular disease all day long, but when you see the configuration in the whites of your eyes going toward the arterial heart, that indicates some plaque buildup. That's a true indicator that, that's being represented in the body. And that vital data is then able to help support my clients to address those issues that we can see. It's a great motivating factor because you're actually seeing
exactly
your health in your eyes.
That was pretty exciting. It intrigued me. It was something now I'm always thinking about that scan when you showed me the different areas, and it was very intriguing. One of the things I did like also, which I think people probably don't realize, is they look a lot of time at a holistic doctor or holistic practitioner, and they think, oh, you don't want them to go to a regular doctor, or you're against the regular medical profession. But one thing that you do is you encourage them to go to their doctors if they're getting any type of tests or if they've had any blood work done, and you work with their doctor or with those tests.
Absolutely.
As a companion.
Absolutely, Roberta. That's an excellent point in that, I have primary care physician that refers her patients to me. And the reason being is there's only so much that they can do with medications and the standard of care that they're giving for a particular health issue, where I have a different toolbox to use. We can address nutritional issues, and there really is incredible healing in food. And doing nutritionally dense meal plans. Just super, it's just amazing with the healing abilities of that. But just to circle back to what you're referring to as far as an integrative approach.
Yes.
Why would you not use the best of both?
Yes.
Conventional medicine has its amazing strengths and diagnostic tools. You know, I see where they're amazing with traumas
Mm-hmm.
and issues that of those nature. You know, when it comes to chronic disease, when we're talking about perhaps, elevated blood pressure or diabetes or any of those types of chronic issues, there's so much more that you can do on the dietary side and with herbs to help healing and not masking what the issue is or masking the symptoms, but actually getting to the underlying cause of a health concern and address it. But using the integrative approach and using the best of both of what's available is what I help guide my clients through all the time.
And I
So
think
they're
that's,
transitioning off of, they don't want to take a statin drug any longer. They're off of some pharmaceuticals. They want to do things on an alternative way. And you're not exchanging herbs for pharmaceutical. What you're doing is actually healing the body so that it is actually regulating itself properly so that it doesn't need to have the medication.
see, and that is so key because you're not telling people don't go to the doctor, come and do this, do everything natural. We can cure everything. What you're saying is that the body has its own process of healing that you can help them with if they've already been to the doctor and they've got, whether it's a prescription or surgery, you're working with the doctor, you're working with the person's body. So I think I like to clear that up because I had that misconception too. It's like, wait, I need to go to a doctor.
A lot of people do. The other thing is that I have seen certain health circumstances in people's eyes. As an example, I had an athlete that I saw some cardiovascular markers in the arterial heart, and I suggested, if it were me, that they go to a cardiologist, go to a primary care physician, relate to them what I was telling them, and then I had some concerns, and she didn't know that she had a heart murmur.
Oh, wow.
So she did go to a cardiologist, and there are things that I see of a concern that I believe that people should seek out, professional medical treatments for, or at least get some additional diagnostics, because I don't diagnose or prescribe. So if I see the signs in someone's eyes that there's a sugar metabolism dysfunction, and they have fermentation in their eyes because they're not digesting the carbohydrates completely, nor is the body utilizing them completely, it would make sense that they would go to a doctor and have the blood panel done and get properly diagnosed. Once we understand specifically what we're dealing with, then we also know how we want to address it on an alternative, holistic way.
Three things you did that I brought back to my memory was, I have a heart murmur and I didn't tell you that. You seen that. And also you suggested for me to realign my body and go to a chiropractor, which now I go to regularly. I meant to tell you has phenomenal changes in my back and my hip just by going to the chiropractor and by your suggestion. And then the other thing you suggested, and I made a lot of dietary changes, is seeing some form of cholesterol. And I was able to make a lot of dietary changes based on those suggestions. So I wanted to give you just to testify to what you're saying to everybody. And you've also suggested as well, tests that I could go get to further our conversation and my journey, my health journey.
Right. The more information that we can gather to give us the proper health profile, the better your primary care physician, specialist, and your alternative health team is going to be in coming together to give you that comprehensive approach so that you get a higher therapeutic result. And that's all we want. We want to have longevity in life with a vitality and energy, right?
Yes. Who doesn't want that? So real briefly, explain the process of if someone contacts you and would like to make an appointment. What is the whole process from when they make that appointment to after they've reviewed the, what would you say, the scan that you do of the eye? Reviewing the reports.
So when I do the iology pictures,
Mm-hmm.
So when someone contacts me, they can do that through my website at forwellnessnaturally.com. and I have a contact form that you can fill out. And then I'll reach out to you on how you indicate whether you want a phone call, a 15-minute free consultation, or if you want me to respond with an email. Once we make contact and we make an appointment, I send you a new client intake form, which is pretty simple and straightforward. You fill that out, send it back to me. I take a look at that so that I'm in the best possible position to serve you when you come in. And then we have an appointment where I take a full health inventory, take pictures of your eyes, and then can either do a reading right there, or I bring you back in a second appointment if you want written reports.
Perfect. So it doesn't sound as scary as maybe some people might think it would be, or so involved. We have such misconceptions when it comes to our health and so many fears and things that hold us back. So I can just also attest to the fact that it was pretty simple. It wasn't anything I thought it was. And I highly suggest that anybody who's met you or even sees this recording would contact you and start that journey. You're welcome.
Well, and I've truly have learned so much from you and Sean in your business. And when we connected to do the video process, I was very intimidated by that whole process. And I know I've conveyed this to you, but I will mention it again, that it was nice because you talked me off of the ledge. That was not my comfort level, to be in front of the camera and talk about myself or my business. And you very much made it a pleasure, not just an okay experience. It was a lot of fun. We had a good time. The end product turned out fabulous. I couldn't have asked for better material to be able to promote my business with. And I just want to thank you and Sean for the incredible work that you did. It was such a fun experience to work with you both.
Thank you for that. And I have to say, because, we are friends, that we became friends as a result of this, the process with you. The fact that you really are passionate about what you do and you really are trying to help people was great. And it made our job easier. You appreciated the value of what we do, and you took our expertise and you ran with it. And as soon as I got you back off the ledge, it was pretty fun. I mean, it was exciting because you really are impassioned and you really care about what you're doing. It's not something that you're doing to make money or to get rich. I mean, you really are passionate and caring and generous with your services, your knowledge, because we can appreciate when people are paying for knowledge, that's what half of what you're doing is people paying on your schooling and the knowledge you have, and the same thing with us. And you're so generous with that. Because we both know how that is. You paid to get where you are and to get that knowledge. And a lot of times people just want it for free. And that's part of what you're doing, is getting paid for that knowledge and your expertise. So I do appreciate that generosity. And it was fun. I mean, when we have clients that become friends, it's great because, it's kind of a win-win situation. We all get something out of it.
Absolutely.
And so I want to wrap this up and just say thank you for your time. And I encourage anybody out there who is trying to change their lifestyle and again, let's give your information out for everybody so they can contact you. What would be the best way again?
Sure. They can either call me, and my phone number is 760-473-2745, or they can take a look at my website, which is the number 4 wellnessnaturally.com. I'm also on Yelp, so you can just do a Yelp search and I should pop up.
Okay. Thank you, Carolyn, for visiting the King's Corner.
Oh, thank you, Roberta. It was really a pleasure. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.